Now, this proposed law has been endorsed by LAUSD, which had 130,000 students absent from school the first week back from winter break. Now, while attendance could eventually affect school funding, absences driven by COVID are affecting kids' education here and now. So what can parents do when they notice their kids are falling behind? Well, one option is tutoring. And joining us now is Hsiao. He's the CEO of Teachers1on1, a new platform to connect students to qualified teachers for one-on-one virtual tutoring sessions. Henry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Ryan, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Of course. You know what? I talked to an educator this week, and she told me that they are so focused on COVID testing that they can't focus enough on academic testing, that there's so much influx, students in and out of the classroom. The absences are really hurting their learning. How are you finding that virtual learning is hurting students?
Well, I think virtual learning is good, but when it's done in mass, it's very hard for the teacher to be able to administer a classroom with dozens of students. And so our platform really is focusing on the one-on-one tutoring aspect and bringing highly qualified and accredited teachers to help that learning experience with students.
I love that because, you know, there is, like you said, virtual learning can be helpful, but there's so much influx. They are in the class or not in the class, back and forth. So when they have that tutor is there with them one-on-one online, it can be really helpful. I want to ask, though, about digital learning. There's the digital divide, right? So not every kid has access to Wi-Fi, to the computer. So how do you guys, when you're giving these resources, how do you make sure that they are available to all students?
That's an excellent question, and that's actually one of our principles in making sure that we have a platform that's equitable and has access to as many individuals that are in need. I think there's two things. One is governments, schools, and districts all have funding or additional funding and resources to address this, so I would encourage parents to reach out to their schools and districts. And also, we actually stood up an education fund recently to help subsidize the tutoring for those that are in need. And so I would also encourage parents to reach out directly to us, support@teachers1on1.com, and we can help facilitate those sessions or subsidize tutoring and learning sessions.
Talk to me about how helpful these sessions can be to help reduce the impact that learning loss has had for students. For example, I took my daughter out of school for a whole year. I was worried about her being there. She went back to school, and just in a few months, she learned a lot. I was really actually surprised by how much she learned in such a short amount of time. How can tutoring really help students regain what they've lost when they've had this influx of time because of the pandemic?
Yeah, I think the tutoring aspect is a tremendous accelerator. It's also for enrichment, right, and also supplemental. So it depends on the need, but I think ultimately for parents and students, it's figuring out your child's learning style, their preferences, and then coupling it with the one-on-one tutoring. The one-on-one tutoring is special because it offers a very engaged, personalized experience with real teachers and teachers that understand a child's learning plan, their preferences, right? And that coupled with the school learning, I think is what really helps students accelerate and really achieve their best potential.
A lot of potential there for all of our students. When they get that support and they get that focus, they can certainly do it. But my question is, how do you know what tutor is right for them? Is picking the right tutor for your child important? And how do parents know what tutor is right for them?
I think that's a great question. It's very important, and I think a lot of it comes down to just like anyone that you have for your child, either do lessons for sports or tutoring. It's, obviously, are they certified? Are they capable? Have they done this before? Have they worked with the children? And for tutoring, it's what are their specific teaching styles? What have they taught before? A lot of it is actually built into our platform, and so that's one of the things we're very proud of. We've thought about a lot is to really help ease that curation of a good teacher or tutor for your student.
Excellent. There's so much need now, so it's good you're providing this service. That's Hsiao with Teachers1on1. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ryan.